What's up, guys? Anthony here at AB Fitness Center. I'm going to be explaining to you today exactly the right and correct way to lose 30 pounds of body fat. Now, it's not an easy test, so if you're looking to lose 30 pounds, this is the video and exactly step by step what you need to do to get there. So let's just jump right in there. So we got Sally here. This is my hypothetical example, but you could throw anyone in here if you want to at any age. Doesn't really matter. The same principles are going to apply. So Sally, she is 180. She wants to get to 150, and she's 50 years old. So that's what we're going to go with. That's Sally. So Sally wants to lose 30 pounds. So first and foremost, when I talk about losing body fat and changing the way your body looks, we're talking about changing your body composition. So this is 1 pound of fat. This is what 1 pound of body fat looks like. This is 1 pound of muscle. See, there's a big difference there. They're both a pound, but the body fat takes up a lot more space. And most people say muscle weighs more than fat and blah, 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 but a pound is a pound. But look how much more space the body fat takes up, a lot more. So muscle is very important tissue for your body. It's active tissue, it helps you move, and it helps regulate your metabolism. Whereas body fat doesn't do anything but sits on your frame. It just kind of sits there. So in order to lose 30 of these, right, in 1 pound of body fat, there contains 3,500 calories. So body fat is basically storage for your body. And this storage device, think of it like your holiday decorations. You store everything in holiday bins and then you put the bins away. It's the same thing with your body. When you overeat calories, your body stores those extra ones in body fat and puts it away for later use. So with that said, we got to start with the timeline first. How long is it actually going to take to lose 30 pounds? And I'm talking about losing 30 pounds of pure fat like I just showed you, not just losing 30 pounds on the scale. Big difference. So the right way to lose 30 pounds. So in order for us to lose that 30 pounds of fat, we take the 30, we times it by 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. So we have to, the fat calories that actually have to be used during this process is 105,000 calories. It's a lot of unused energy that your body has stored up that we got to get rid of. So with the timeline with that, if we set up your diet correctly, which we're going to, we're going to create a 500 calorie deficit every day, which will allow us to lose about 1 pound of body fat a week, which is ideal, healthy, sustainable weight loss. Again, every person is different. Some people can go in a 500 calorie deficit and lose more than a pound. Some people go in a 500 calorie deficit and lose a little less. So let's just, for argument's sake, we'll start with that. So 1 pound a week, that would take them 30 weeks to do it. Again, and I'm talking about 30 weeks the right way. Not just, okay, I lost weight. The right way, where this weight's not going to come back on. Now, we're going to factor in oopsies. So what's an oopsies? An oopsies is you had a party, you kind of went a little crazy, you overate, you forgot to eat, you had a moment, you got stressed, ice cream, oopsies. They happen. So typically when we have oopsies, depending on how bad the oopsies are and how many oopsies you have, we'll just, for argument's sake, say you're about 80% compliant. So you had some oopsies, but you messed up a little bit along the way. So at an 80% compliance, we'll just say, you're going to lose 0.5 pounds per week, which would put us at 60 weeks. So it's going to take us roughly to lose 30 pounds of body fat. It's going to take us roughly 30 to 60 weeks to do that. So what you see on TV, not 100% true. I've talked about this so many times. You remember, we're talking about actual tissue in your body. Storage. If you have a lot of holiday decorations and you're trying to clean out the closet, it's going to take you a while to clean out the closet. Same thing with your body. If you have a lot of stored calories, it's going to take your body some time to get rid of them. But again, we're looking to get rid of them and keep them off. So that's the first thing. So we got to keep that timeline in mind. All right, the next thing, how do we do this? How do we lose 30 pounds? Well, we do that with a calorie deficit. 70% of your results are going to come from what you eat. So the nutrition component to all this is very, very important. So when it comes to actually losing this, its majority of it is going to come from your diet or creating a calorie deficit, which is kind of what we talked about before. So 70% of your results are going to come from that. And the last part of this, the second piece to how we're going to do it, is with retaining muscle. Again, as I spoke about before, muscle is active tissue in your body. Muscle helps to regulate your metabolism, and muscle makes you firmer and toner. So it's important to have and maintain muscle. So again, we're going to retain muscle by adding in weight training, which I'll cover in a minute. But that's going to be about 30% of your results. So as you can see, in order to get to 100% and actually lose this weight, 70% of it is going to come from your nutrition. So that's the most important element, and that's what we're going to cover. And the remaining is going to come from your weight training, and I'll get into that in a second. So let's create that calorie deficit. How do we create that calorie deficit? Well, first and foremost, again, I don't know who's listening to this, so this is a general guideline. When you come to us at AB Fitness Center, we customize all this for you. Or if you click that link below, you pick up my blueprint book on Amazon. It basically walks you through exactly what you need to do for your body. So in order to create the calorie deficit to lose the 1 pound that we spoke about earlier, we're going to take our body weight and we're going to times it by 9. Again, just a rough rule. So we have 180 times 9. That's going to give us 1,620 calories per day in order to lose that 1 pound. Right? Again, general, basic rule in order to do that. So that's going to dictate to our bodies, okay, we're eating 1,600 calories now. We need to start getting rid of some of these stored calories, the 105,000 stored calories. Got to start getting rid of them. So that's the first thing. Now, a bonus to this is in order to retain muscle and make sure and tell our bodies that we want to lose just fat, we need to tell our bodies and give our bodies the building blocks for muscle. And the building blocks for muscle is protein. Higher protein diets have been shown time and time again to help you burn more body fat and change your body composition, make you tighter, make you toner, make you firmer, and make you look better naked. So when we lose weight, we want to lose mostly fat and we don't want to lose any muscle. So in order to do that, the bonus step here is figuring out how much protein we need to actually sustain this loss. Now, figuring out the protein that we need, it's going to be a little bit different per person, but we're just going to go with this example and we're going to go with a little less protein than normal. So we're going to go 180, which is how much Sally weighs right now. We're going to times it by 0.9, okay? Usually it's about 1 gram per pound, but again, everyone's different, so you can go a little higher, a little lower with this, but 180 times 0.9, that puts us at 162 grams of protein a day as a bonus to give our bodies the building blocks to burn off 1 pound of body fat a week. Now, remember, the cool thing about protein intake is the higher your protein intake is, the more your body has to heat up to burn off that extra protein. So you get actually a calorie burning effect from eating more protein. So that's why it's so important to have protein in there. This is why higher protein diets have been shown time and time again to help you lose more fat in the long run. So 162 grams of protein at 1,600 calories a day, give or take, is going to be the key to help you with all this and lose the fat. So what type of diet structure should we do? Do we do low carb? Do we do high carb? Do we do high fat, low fat? What's the right answer? And the right answer to that is it needs to be flexible, okay? We want this weight to come off and stay off. And how we get it to come off and stay off is by making this fit into your lifestyle. And the way we make it fit into your lifestyle is if we factor in all these things. So your body doesn't discriminate against foods. It just sees protein, carbs, fats. That's all it sees. So if you have like pizza right now, it's not like your body's going to say, oh my God, Anthony's having pizza. Let's put it in his love handles. It doesn't work like that. Your body just sees those things. So with that said, we can kind of break that rule. So if you're supposed to have 1,600 calories a day, as long as you're getting in your protein intake, if you want a handful of cookies and you factor in those 300 calories into your day, you can have it. So this is why a flexible dieting approach, which is what we teach you at AB Fitness Center, and if you click that link below in my blueprint book, exactly what I teach you, allows for you to allow life to happen so you have less oopsies and burn more fat in the long run and keep the weight off. Whereas if we did a strict, rigid, let's just say low carb, right? It's gonna come that one day, maybe it's your birthday and you want a piece of birthday cake. Now you can't have the birthday cake because you're trying to lose the weight, but you cheat and you have the birthday cake. Well, it's gonna allow you to, it's gonna pull you longer on that timeline. Whereas if you practice flexible dieting, if you want a slice of birthday cake, you can have it. It's just a matter of factoring those calories into your 1600 total for the day. This is why flexible dieting approach is the best for keeping the weight off long term, which is exactly what we want. All right, we're gonna add fuel to the fire now. So we got the main part of it set up. The 70% is set up. So we're gonna add fuel to the fire. How do we add fuel to this fire? By weight training 3 times a week at a minimum. So 3 times a week, we're gonna be doing full body routines, okay? We're gonna be doing things like squats with barbells, okay? We're gonna be doing barbell bench, barbell overhead, pull-ups or inverted rows, stiff leg deadlifts, trap bar, all these types of movements, because these movements utilize the most amount of muscle in the shortest amount of time possible. So for example, when you do barbell squats off a squat rack, you're gonna be using over 280 different muscles in your body. Whereas when you do something like the leg extension machine, you're only working 3. So you're gonna get a bigger bang for your buck using something like squats and barbell squats than using machines and other variable ways of working out. So by utilizing full body routines 3 times a week, you're gonna work your whole body 3 times a week. That's gonna be way more than enough to cover the 30% needed to retain this muscle tissue, have a healthy metabolism, and also look toner, firmer, and look better naked. All right, so not needed, but a bonus. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, so we got the diet down, we got the weight training down, but what about cardio? Well, cardio is not necessary. As you can see, 70% of your results are gonna come from what you eat. But we wanna give you a little bonus to push you in the right direction. So that little bonus is gonna come in the form of a step goal. Now, the reason why I like to track people's steps is because it's a lot more measurable than any other way to do this. So for example, if you like to do cardio and you wanna run outside, that's fine. But we need a way to track that. So the best, most accurate, most long-term way to do this is to track your total steps. So again, I don't know anything about Sally, but on average, she's gonna be doing anywhere between 10,000 to 12,000 steps per day. Again, rough rule, general outline, but that's a good starting point to go. But then if halfway through her journey, she's 15 pounds down and she hits a plateau for whatever reason, we could pull on some strings here and some levers to figure out, okay, look, we're gonna keep the diet the same, we're gonna keep your protein intake the same, we're gonna keep your weight training the same, let's bump up your steps by 2,000. And again, my blueprint book walks you through all this, and we help you with this, with training if you're interested in that as well. So 10,000 to 12,000 steps. It's not needed, but it's a bonus. And again, it's just good for overall health, good for your mind. Now, the last piece of this equation is tracking and measuring data. Tracking and measuring data sounds like a lot of work, but it's so important when it comes to altering your body. Why? Because when you track and measure data, you understand what works for your body, what doesn't work for your body, and what needs to change if something stops working. If you don't know any of these numbers or metrics, how do you know if something's actually working or not? You may lose 2 pounds on the scale tomorrow, but that could be just because maybe you ate a little less, and that's why you lost 2 pounds. But if you know, okay, I had 1,600 calories every day, I had 160 grams of protein, I had, blah, 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 that's why I lost weight, and I did my steps. And then if a couple weeks that doesn't happen, you bump up your steps, like, the scale's moving again. So this is why it's so important to track these metrics, and these are things that we do for you, and my blueprint book also helps you with this. So how do we track the diet? Well, we're tracking the diet with the blueprint book. I prefer to do it on paper and pen because paper and pen is the way I learned. It's the best way to do it. They have all these fancy apps now. they are very confusing because there's so many different, foods and all these other things. Paper and pen is the best way to go about it. The apps are very, very convenient, but paper and pen to learn how to do this, especially initially, is the best way to go. So we're going to use my blueprint book. All right. How do we track training? Well, you're going to use a workout journal or a notebook of some sort. So you're going to use a workout journal, and you're going to keep track of your weights. I also have a workout journal. You can click that link below and pick that up as well. But you're going to keep track of your weights. If you worked out today and you squatted 100 pounds for 5 reps, the next time you come into the gym, you got to beat that. Again, metrics, data, tracking it. It's the only way you're going to be successful with this and keep the weight off and change your body long term. Now, how do we keep track of our weight and fat? I recommend picking up a scale on Amazon or wherever that tracks your body fat. So every morning, you go number 1, number 2, you get on the scale and it goes automatically to your phone. You don't even pay attention to those numbers. Just let it go. And then you could look at the data and say, okay, what happened over the course of the week? All right, my weight is trending down. I'm moving in the right direction. Or my weight is trending up. I'm doing something wrong. So now you have that option and that metric to track that. So I would get a scale for that. Okay. And the bonus to track the other things and track your activity is going to come from either a Fitbit, Apple Watch. I like my Apple Watch. Apple Watch is probably the best. And they actually have an Oura ring as well. So it's basically a ring that you wear. And that also tracks the same thing, tracks your sleep. But you got to track these metrics because they're the most important. This way it's accurate and it gives us the best way to do it. So that's it, guys. That's how you lose 30 pounds the right way, step by step. Hopefully you guys have picked this up, apply your situation to it, and it helps you. If you're interested in having me help you, click that link below. You can pick up the blueprint book, or if you're interested in some coaching, click that link below, find out more about that. All right, guys, Anthony, AB Fitness Center, and I'll catch you on the next one.